And this is even more important when we know that developing complex animal models for new diseases often takes a very long time. So this is where I see organ-on-chip reducing or filling in that gap in a very nice way. Hi, my name is Japhette Kembou-Ringert, and I'm a senior scientist at Dynamic42, and I'm part of the lung team developing a lung model on chip. Well, at Dynamic42 at the moment, I'm developing an alveolus on chip model to help us answer basic research questions at the alveolar part, and that will also be helpful for drug testing at this specific part of the lung, and that will also help us to answer research questions related to the alveolus. My work for customers at Dynamic42 is mostly resolving around tailoring our model to their specific scientific research questions. So the way our chips are built at Dynamic42 is simply amazing. It's a very simple chip, but that chip allows us to really tailor our existing models to answer the specific research questions of the customers. So what that means is that the customer approaches us and then they tell us their specification, what they need and what they want, and based on that, we design our model using our simple chips in a way that it can help the customer answer the research questions that they have, using the very same materials they have in their lab, without the need for any other fancy equipment. Well, the most exciting project I'm working on at the moment is the Atana project. Although it has been a bit challenging so far, but it's really exciting because it's now offering a new perspective, new avenues for the treatment of lung aspergillosis, and it's a disease that we know it can be very fatal for immunosuppressed individuals. How I see organ-on-chip impacting biomedical research or drug development in the next year? That's a very good question, because in my opinion, where I see organ-on-chip as a game changer will be in personalized medicine, for example. Using patient-derived sample, organ-on-chip offers the possibility now to test for drug efficacy and efficiency targeting specific diseases, which was not possible before. And organ-on-chip will certainly help reduce the number of animals used in research nowadays. And another thing where I see organ-on-chip as having a very big impact is now organ-on-chip offers the possibility to address diseases for which there are no animal models existing. Those diseases are associated with high mortality, high morbidity in such a way that animals or humans simply cannot be used in clinical study. This is where organ-on-chip can fill in this gap. And as a virologist, I also see organ-on-chip having a very big impact, while being a very good game changer in pandemic preparedness against emerging diseases. Organ-on-chip will help us in case of pandemic outbreak, for example, to quickly address research questions arising in case of pandemic with a new virus or a new infectious agent, for example. And this is even more important when we know that developing complex animal models for new diseases often takes a very long time. So this is where I see organ-on-chip reducing or filling in that gap in a very nice way. A recent breakthrough. Well, personally, I don't have one from myself because I'm still working on it, but it's more a sort of team effort within the lung team. So recently, we were able to visualize aspergillus invasiveness in our ongoing small airway on-chip model. But that's still it's in infancy, so it's exciting and promising. One misconception about organ-on-chip. That's a funny question, actually, because when I talk about organ on chip to people, especially people who are not in the field, they literally think that we take a whole organ and put it in some sort of chip. And they're like, what? And what is important is that it's important for people to understand that what we are trying to recreate within the organ on chip is that we are trying to recreate this basic minimal functional structure of the organ. What that means is that if you literally make a cross-section of the organ, you can see the 3D architecture of how your organ is supposed to look like. You can see the different ways the cells are layered. And this should give you a clue or an idea of how to layer your different cell types within your organ on chip model to recreate this basic minimal functional structure of the organ.